What's going on, Southern Miss football fans? Today I wanted to do a crossover episode with my good buddy Sanoe out there in Texas. He's a huge North Texas fan. He's great insights. If you guys haven't been on the Mean Green Show on YouTube, go check that out. Let's jump him in here and see what he's been up to. What's going on, Sanoe?
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me on.
Man, it's a privilege and an honor, and I am extremely grateful. Always glad to see you. You been doing okay, man?
Yeah, man, just trying to stay warm. North Texas, we've been hit with some pretty vicious winter weather, and I think you guys in Louisiana have got you're in Louisiana, right?
Correct, yeah.
Currently, yeah, I think you guys got hit with some of that too, but we've definitely been battling the power outages and whatnot. But I'm glad we got enough power to get on and hop on the show with you.
No, for sure. I'm glad you were able to join. And like I said, all day, it's been weird being on live and doing my show stuff. Man, I haven't had a problem at all with the internet. But I go try to jump on a video game and it kicks me off of live within 5 seconds. But look, man,
that's unacceptable.
Yeah, man, it's bad. But I'll take it. I'll take having this right here over nothing. But But I'm just gonna be honest. Doing the interview stuff, I'm not real good at. So me and you are gonna run this off like we're talking like always, and we're gonna run it like we're live. And
absolutely,
I gotta jump into it, man. As of right now, looking at your recruiting class, North Texas Mean Green. Paramount 21. Come on. How are we feeling about this recruiting class as a whole?
Man, we're feeling pretty good. I must say, and I don't think we're done yet, to be honest. I don't know, as far as specifics of who we might bring in or what positions those people might be, but I don't think they're done yet. But as far as what we have right now, we're feeling, we're really excited and, very optimistic about the guys coming in. And, we can break down specifics here a little bit later, but yeah, the feeling is pretty good and a lot of excitement.
Good, man. Cause what year are we on with Seth Luttrell?
That's a good question. I want to say this is his year. We're going into year 5, maybe.
Okay. So what he's been in a good bit is what we're getting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. So he's definitely planted a foundation. And everyone knows I'm a huge Seth Luttrell fan. He's bringing in this huge recruit, defensive recruit, Caleb Johnson, man. Give me a quick oversight on who Caleb Johnson is and what's he going to bring to the table for UNT.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So Caleb, he, you and guys like you and myself, we kind of keep on stay up with the 24/7. Who is our school pursuing? Who's warm towards us and whatnot. And obviously, I check that multiple times a day, and especially as it closes in on early signing day and national signing day and certain days like that. And Caleb was one of those guys who, in one of our forums, there was some talk about, hey, tomorrow expect something big. We may get the highest rated recruit we've ever got, and whatnot. So we were all like, who, we were peering through, who could it be, whatever. And then when they announced Caleb Johnson, man, we really, from a North Texas standpoint, we kind of broke the internet. And, when he decided to flip from OU and commit to us out of nowhere, we literally had no inclination. And for such a big recruit to fly so under the radar, if you will, as far as like keeping that hush, that's pretty good. Good job to those people that kept their mouths closed. It would have been hard for me to keep that secret. But so yeah, whenever we saw that he signed with us and whatnot, it was really just a lot of excitement. And I think in part it had to do with, and maybe don't quote me on this, but this is kind of just what I've heard, that OU had him coming in as a cornerback, and he played both ways in high school at Greenville. And he wanted to do two things. He wanted to stay kind of closer to home. Denton is about an 1.5-hour drive from Greenville, so very manageable, commute for his family that wants to come see him or whatever. And he wanted to play wide receiver. So UNT kind of offers both of those things. So I believe he's coming in to play receiver for us. And there's a little bit limited film on him at the wide receiver position, but Gabe Brooks did a really great breakdown that I've talked about in one of my videos of just he can one of those guys who can go both ways. Not to say that he'll go both ways in college, but he could go the defensive back route or the receiver route, and he ran like a 10.58 100-meter dash. So he can really fly, and he has really good ability after the catch to make things happen, and just just, really just a big time get in. We're just super excited. And, you know, my kind of philosophy on the matter is I don't really hold true freshmen too accountable year one, as far as like they got to come in and change the program. It shouldn't be like that, but he's one of those guys that you don't know, man. I mean, he might, he may be a real guy in the mix and might blossom into one of our real go-to threats in that wide receiver room. And we already got a few good ones, but he's definitely in the talks already of those good ones that we already have.
Oh no, for sure. Well, real quick before I jump into something else, Caleb Johnson. Whenever I seen this guy, obviously he flipped from Oklahoma and came to you guys, and immediately I was like, dude, if this guy doesn't come off the field, that's if he comes off the field, that's a problem. He can, like you said, he can do it all.
Yeah.
And the fact that the theory we have here on him coming to UNT to play receiver, that's so believable, because it's almost like he's coming to UNT with something to prove.
Yes.
The guy coming in, he's like, you know what? You guys don't think I have hands, brother? Y'all about to see the day. Oklahoma, you should have let me play receiver. So we're gonna see what he can do there. I'm kind of like you. I don't expect a big freshman year, but hey, if you we ain't against it, guys. Mm-hmm. We ain't against it. Come on and come
Absolutely.
out. But since we're getting him at receiver now.
Just to kind of piggyback off of that, just a little bit more, I know we're giving Caleb a lot of attention, but he definitely kind of warrants it here. He's one of those guys who, if you know what I talk about and all that stuff, I beat my chest a lot on guys like Ty Keys, those higher rated 3-star guys that they could go to Power Fives, and they definitely warrant the offers that they get from them. And there's a lot of guys who aren't rated nearly as high as them that go Power Fives, but they go to those Power Fives and they're kind of bottom of the totem pole as far as in that recruiting class, not really a focal point, if you will. But then those same guys like Ty Keys and, Caleb Johnson, they choose to go to these G5 schools like UNT and Southern Miss. And, man, we're all, it's like we're rolling out the parade for them. And, that's kind of cool. So, but, yeah, so that's all. I'll leave it at that when it comes to Caleb. But yeah, we're excited, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm all for that, too. You're so right with that. It's almost like the big fish in the small pond gig. But also, man, we're going out and buying Ty Keys jerseys right now as we speak, man. We're getting keys made, with his name on it that we can shake at the game, like Mississippi State, man. We're going all out with Ty Keys. But speaking of losing, speaking of gaining Caleb Johnson, a wide receiver you guys are getting, let's talk about who you're losing here. Darden. Let's talk about Darden going pro. I'm sorry, I don't know if he was a senior or not. I think he was a senior. Okay, so it wasn't like a choice that he had to leave or not. So
yeah. So going off of Jalen Darden, he was a senior. Obviously, he could have came back if he wanted to with this kind of like extra year or whatever. But who could blame him? He had just a phenomenal year, second team All-American at UNT, and Jalen Darden produced with Mason Fine. He produced with Jason Bean, Austin Ani. Really, and in a year of inconsistencies, especially at the quarterback play for us, he was the one consistent. And it just did not matter, man. He just constantly went above and beyond expectations. And as a UNT fan base, man, we just could not be more proud of him. We're happy for him. Really looking forward to see where he gets drafted to. And it's been a while since UNT has put a guy in the draft. So really looking forward to him, potentially, and I really believe he should, bust this draft bust, if you will. And but it is a big loss though, nevertheless, when you have a guy like that, electing to go to the next level, we're happy for him, but we are definitely, he's going to be missed here at North Texas.
Oh, I'm sure. I know I'll speak for Southern Miss. We won't miss him. Okay. Southern Miss fans will not miss him.
Yeah.
For the conference, I'm playing, man, but I'm not. I mean, I'm gonna miss seeing him play a lot.
Sure.
He was a dog. I'll give him that. But we're also losing at North Texas. Trey Siggers going to the rival school.
I know, right down the street.
Town, if you will.
Yeah.
SMU. What's the thoughts on that as a fan base, losing a guy? What's it like to lose a guy? Kind of like Tulane. Tulane just lost a guy, and that's our rival school, and now we get him. So what's it like for you for this to happen, man?
Well, it's kind of mixed, when it comes to Trey, he when he's going to, SMU, or whenever we heard he was transferring, it was kind of like, that's unfortunate. He was he did produce for us, at times, and had some success here. But then when we heard where he was going, then it was like, okay, like forget him, like, you know what I mean? Just like, we don't ever want to hear his name again, kind of joking, kind of not joking on that one. But he's gonna, I mean, we'll see what he does at SMU. I'm not really too familiar with their running back room, and how that will go for him. And I'm not wishing anything against him. I definitely don't want him to have a good game against us. But and as far as like what kind of a loss is that for our team, not to kind of downplay his contributions to this team, because he definitely has been a contributor. But this past year, I want to say he might have battled with some with the injury bug, and maybe the year before that as well. I don't quote me on that, but we mixed with, we kind of have a bit of a crowded running back room in a good way. And, so it's not, unless we get a bunch of big time injuries, it's probably not the end of the world as far as a loss. It's more of a, why did you have to go there? Like, but he is a Dallas kid, he, not that Denton's that far from Dallas either, but he probably, just kind of play even closer to home, I guess.
No, for sure. I thought, and losing him, when I saw it, I was like, man, of all schools you could go to, it was kind of like losing Jack Abraham. Of all schools you could go to, you go to Mississippi State, bro. Our big brother, so to speak.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Don't do that.
What's he thinking? Yeah.
That was how I felt about it. But let's shift it up since we're talking about quarterbacks now. Jace Rutter, man. Yes. Real quick, give everybody a quick background for me. I saw one day Sanoe had posted, hey, man, we're getting a transfer from North Carolina. Yeah. And it was like, dude, 2-3 days later, I click on YouTube and I see him and Jace Rutter doing a show together, man. How was that like? And how was that like, for one, getting a hold of him and being able to talk to him? That's freaking awesome. And then shifting it up, and now let's talk about how, what's the quarterback room going to look like?
Yeah, man. So just
question there.
Kind of, teeing off on how Jace was, man. Jace could not have been more of a professional young man, and holds himself in a very confident but not cocky manner, and just really just commands a lot of respect when he speaks. And you can kind of see a little bit of that on camera if you check out our interview that we did. But you can also check our I also got the feel for that when we spoke off camera, just kind of the kind of guy he is, what kind of mindset he has, what kind of work ethic he has. And my buddy Steven Hamner, he does QB Spotlight. He did some videos on him and made the comments that he was in a very contested QB battle with Sam Howell, who's going to be a future first round draft pick. So it's not like he just lost to anybody. And also the Mac Brown and that coaching staff was not the coaching staff that recruited him originally. So there were some obstacles there too, and not to mention he had to battle the injury bug during North Carolina. I think one year he broke his collarbone, and the next year he broke his leg. But he's he says he's feeling 100% now, and ready to go. And coming out of high school, he was the #1 recruit out of Kansas, and the 15th ranked dual threat quarterback in the nation in that class. And that class held Justin Fields, Tanner Mordecai, another QB one kid. I forgot which one. Maybe I can't remember.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, there were some big names in that class, and for him to be that highly ranked up is interesting. And as a fan base, we're excited that he's coming to North Texas, man. We are, and he's a very welcome addition to this Mean Green family, if you will. And we're just excited to see what he does once he hits the field here.
Oh man, I'm not even a North Texas fan, man, but I can't wait to see what Jace Rutter does. I'm serious. I saw him, get like you said, he was always battling. It seemed like an injury at North Carolina, and then you could kind of see the mesh factor, the chemistry factor, maybe. Maybe that just wasn't a coaching change and all that. Maybe he's finally somewhere where he can de-stress. You said he's from Kansas. He's not all the way across the country. He's right down in Texas, closer to home. Maybe his family can come. I just feel like it's a better situation all around for the kid, and I can't be more excited to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, likewise.
But since we're on Rudder, man, this keeps just flowing. This keeps flowing. Since we're on Rudder, am I saying that Rudder or Rudder?
Jace Rudder, yes, sir.
Okay, Rudder. Okay. Since we're on Rudder, let's talk about let's kind of level it out. Let's level this out right here. Gain Rudder, lose Bean. And I was very, very high on Jason Bean, man. I loved watching him at North Texas. So did North Texas gain is what I'm asking.
It's hard to say, North Texas gain whenever your starting quarterback, elects to transfer out. And I definitely don't want to downplay anything that Jason Bean did for this program, since he's been here and especially this past year in 2020 and in such an up and down COVID year. So, what Jason, him coming in, well, he actually started more games than he didn't for us. He was, I guess you could say, the predominant starter out of this co-starting quarterback season. But two of the games I don't think he initially started, he came in and because of his legs was a big factor of why we won those two games that I'm about to reference, and that being Rice and Middle Tennessee State. And, so what Jason Bean, brought to the table was, our passing was never consistent, but he didn't have a small arm. He can push the ball downfield. That definitely was not a lack for him to be able to, kind of grip it and rip it, if you will. But his ability to make plays with his feet was kind of his feature. If you're going to, especially with a Conference USA school, if you're going to play man defense and turn your back to him, he's going to gouge you with his legs. But the upper echelon teams like your La Techs, your UABs, your FAUs, they're not doing that. And, so, that's just, that's just not going to cut it, unfortunately, when it comes to the better teams in this conference. And I again, I don't want to say it's a gain that, he elected to leave, but I will say maybe it makes things a little bit more straightforward. One, it kind of opened up potentially a transfer spot. I don't know if there was talks about getting a transfer QB, and that's what made him leave, or if we started talking about that after he decided to leave. I can't say one way or the other on that because I don't know. But hypothetically, it might have opened up the gates for Jace Rudder to come down. A, B, if not, before Jace even became part of the mix, it kind of gave us more of a clear cut. Like, okay, well, it's not either Ani or Bean. It's either Ani. Probably just Ani, and we'll talk about, Amani Gilmore and Bryce Drummon's an incoming freshman, and Amani Gilmore, he was a Kentucky transfer that we got in the 2020 class that we'll see. But, it just, I can tell you, man, from a fan's perspective here at North Texas, it was not fun, having co-starting QBs and not knowing. I'd almost rather just have a guy and it just go down, if you will, just so we kind of at least know. I don't really like playing the hot hand kind of strategy, which we kind of did last year. Mm-hmm. So anyway, whenever we found out he was transferring, it was kind of eyebrow raising. It was like, wow, you're really close to a starting job at a D1, program. So we don't really know why you wouldn't transfer from that. But I wish him nothing but the best, and it'll be interesting to see where he ends up. What school will take a chance on him, but yeah. So
excited. I'm excited, and I'm with you. Kind of where you started. It's hard to say. Yeah, we came out on top with this, blah blah. When you just lost Jason Bean, man. Yes, you're getting a guy that's, to me, going hand in hand with Sam Harrell at North Carolina. He was Nick for Nick, man. This dude was all in, and now he's coming to North Texas. For outside looking in, dude, you guys have got a steal. You guys just got a freaking diamond in the rough coming. Yeah. Jason Bean, he was kind of a let me Mahomes it out with my feet,
Yeah.
We'll see where he ends up. I'm excited to see where he ends up.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I'd like to see him go somewhere like Sam Houston State.
Yeah.
Or one of them places where he can go to the 16-team tournaments,
Yeah, I think that would be a great fit for him, honestly. Yeah.
And he would dominate at that level, I believe.
I think he'd have a lot of success there.
Let's jump into the man behind it all, a coach that I've always looked up to since you guys got him. He's a freaking beast. If you look at him, he looks like he's roided out.
Yeah.
He's a big dude. Talk about Seth Luttrell, how he's doing, and are we going to sit here and say Seth Luttrell's on a hot seat? He did
Yes.
the Southern Miss last year. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. Yeah. That probably didn't help. But yeah, I mean, the seats relatively warm here in Denton, I would say. There's the fan base is kind of mixed on him. I would say maybe 60-40 on him, 60 kind of being like fans, of 40% being kind of like, nah, like, you're overpaid, you should be producing more, which they have a point. But personally, I like him, and he's a great recruiter, man. He really has turned our recruiting around, just totally 180 did. And I'm not trying to speak, too cockily here, but we're in North Texas, man. We should have good recruiting classes. We're in a very fertile recruiting ground. So, it shouldn't be like it's super hard for us to get good recruits because where we are geographically speaking. But, he's been able to get some really good guys like Caleb Johnson's, and Jay's Rooters, and put together some really good recruiting classes. And, we would like to see that though translate more to on the field, with more wins and, some bowl wins,
Correct.
We've made a lot of bowl games, but we haven't won one yet. So, but as far as
I want to mention this too now. I think people underestimate, for one, Seth Luttrell. I really think they underestimate him. And then because he's underrated in my opinion as a head coach in the league. But also North Texas, y'all understand. North Texas is sitting there having to compete with Texas Tech, Texas A&M, TCU's coming up there to get guys. Oklahoma, Southern Miss has to worry about freaking Ole Miss and Mississippi State, maybe Alabama every so often. But in state, you guys have to compete, man. And this guy's able to bring some big guys in Texas to over some big schools.
Definitely. And my thing is like, I just want to see us, I want to see us always at the top of Conference USA as far as recruiting goes, as far as just because we're going to lose guys to Texas A&M, the list goes on. And even the SMUs of the world, they're in the AAC. That conference is a better conference than Conference USA. It is what it is, but that's so, but I just can't stand it whenever like a guy that we won or whatever goes to Louisiana Tech or something. It's just like, dude, what the heck? That's our dude. Like, why? But so, but we'll see. But and we'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't know if you're going to talk about the schedule or not, but we have a tough schedule this year. So,
that's my last point of interest here for the show. I don't want to keep you too long.
Yeah,
but let's talk about this. I mean, we got a coach that we're just talking, 60-40 would say he's on a hot seat. He's been there quite some time, and all of a sudden, bam, they hit y'all with this schedule, man. Northwestern State, then you got at SMU, UAB's coming. Then you play at Louisiana Tech, at Missouri. Marshall's coming to North Texas. Then you guys got to play Hugh Freeze and Liberty. Then you got, then it kind of lessens out. I mean, you still got to go to Hattiesburg.
Yeah, that's true.
But that'll be to me, that'll be a revenge game for y'all. So y'all come in with a chip on your shoulder, and I feel like who knows? I feel like you guys got something to prove against us the way it went last year. But so let's talk about that first half of the schedule in particular, and how confident are you, or not confident, or how do you see this going?
Okay, yeah. So that is so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our first 7 games, include Northwestern State, SMU, UAB, Louisiana Tech, Missouri, and Marshall, and Liberty. So obviously we'll get that win from Northwestern State. At SMU, man, we haven't won at SMU in quite some time. I can't tell you the exact number off the top of my head, but it has been quite some time. And they're going to have Tanner Mordecai coming in, as well as Preston Stone, their true freshman, who's an early enrollee. Obviously, I think Tanner Mordecai will get the head nod for this year and be the starter. And the SMU is always pretty decent. And then we have UAB coming in. Then we go to Louisiana Tech. So really, probably started off the year 1-1. Northwestern State being a win, and then SMU would probably not be able to pull that one off. And Jace Reuter, he won't be here for spring ball, so it's going to be a little bit of learning on the go. Assuming he gets the starting position and whatnot. Then we go into the Conference USA teams with UAB and Louisiana Tech. Man, yeah, that's tough. I'm really I'd like to confidently tell you that I think we would win both of those games, but I wouldn't bet the house on it. So I'm hoping we can steal one of those and kind of come out there. Then we go at Missouri. Just kind of let's just come out of there, healthy and
moral victory there.
Yeah. I mean, but really, I'm not looking
for that money right there. Huh?
Yeah, I'm not looking for us to upset Missouri this year per se. And then Marshall and Liberty, and it's kind of like gosh, man, Liberty. Both of those teams, man, are good. So really try to steal one of those two. I mean, I would say from as it goes, UAB, La Tech, Marshall, and Liberty, man. If we could go 2-2 and keep the games close out of those 4 games with Jace Reuter's first year potentially being starter or whatever, assuming he starts. And, I think that would give us a lot of momentum going into a little bit of, I don't want to say easier, but more reasonable games of the stretch, at Rice and with Southern Miss, UTEP and FIU. Then we got UTSA, who's building up, some real momentum right now to cap the season off. But, we'll see, man. I mean, it's going to be, the season's definitely going to start off aggressively. So,
oh yeah,
we'll see, man. We're gonna Jace Reuter or whoever I just say Jace Reuter because I think we all just are assuming that, but you never know. But assuming it is gonna be Jace that gets the head nod, I mean, he's gonna be tested pretty quick, and but we'll see. Hopefully he can surprise us, and maybe Caleb, he'll just prove to be unguardable. You never know. So
hey, that could be something. No, I think I'll be honest with you, man. Whoever the quarterback is, they're throwing them to the wolves, man. Mm-hmm. This is a gauntlet of a schedule. This is going to be. I'm telling you, you guys definitely, in my opinion, have the toughest strength of schedule in the Conference USA. My goodness, I'm telling you, the Missouri game's got to be a money game. Y'all go make that point whatever million. Yeah. Y'all gonna make that money, man. But that's how we look at the Alabama game this year in Tuscaloosa. But look, man, let's wrap this up. I'm gonna give you the stage real quick. Tell everybody how they can keep in touch with you if they want to send you a message. If they want to subscribe to your show, go ahead and tell us your Twitter and everything. How to keep up with you.
Yeah, man. So my Twitter name's right down here at Mean Green Show, and you can also find me on YouTube at just the Mean Green Show. And be sure to hit that like and subscribe button because if you're a fan of college football recruiting, G5 football, and the recruiting portal, that's just about all I talk about. So, once again, Sippi, thanks so much for having me on and giving me the opportunity to talk a little North Texas football for the Southern Miss fans, and we look forward to that game in Hattiesburg. Hopefully getting a little bit of revenge, like you said. Fingers crossed.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, look, man, I'm glad to have you on. I'm grateful. It's always a pleasure, man, for sure. And what do we say? Like I said, we say to the top. What do y'all say over there?
Go Mean Green.
Okay, man. Go Mean Green. Huh? Hey, well, thanks for joining, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Hey, you got it. Look, y'all, man, go check him out. He's on the Mean Green Show on YouTube. He does a great job going and doing interviews with a bunch of guys out there making big moves, man. Sanoe Valente, man, y'all go give him a like, subscribe to his channel, hit him up on Twitter, let him know what y'all think about the good old Mean Green of North Texas. Thanks.